All right, everyone. Hey, welcome to Thursday, October 17th, Over the Reality Haunted Halloween Space. How is everyone? I tried to find some kind of Halloween theme intro, and I think I found an appropriate one. I don't know if you heard like the werewolves howling. I'm not sure how the audio was from the iPad to the phone, but I really hope you did. Um, so as you know, this is the Over the Reality weekly space, and Halloween is like really upon us. Literally 2 weeks from today is October 31st, and there's a lot. And you know what? For a lot of people around the world, Halloween is a huge thing, whether it's celebration. I know it means a lot of different things in different cultures. I know there's a lot of like religious, and I'm not talking about Halloween, I'm talking about like November 1st and 2nd, like All Souls Day, All Saints Day. And I know that there's a lot of other meanings behind I wouldn't call it a holiday, but October 31st. But for a lot of people, it's, I don't know, it's just like a great time to party, I guess. And there's so much going on. Like everybody loves a great party. And the funny thing is now they are taking these parties into other spaces and worlds, like virtual reality and augmented reality. And that is why we really want to like discuss that right now. So if you don't know, Over the Reality is a spatial computing platform. They literally have a digital layer all over the world, and it is partitioned into like little like hexagons that you can actually buy, rent, or sell. Now, in addition to owning these digital layers over real life physical locations, the great thing about it is you can also create augmented reality experiences and also reality experiences. And the reason why I say this is because Over has, I believe it was last month, they introduced a way to, number one, map a certain location where you can grab not only its data, but like the background or the environment around it. So think of like capturing, like taking a video of like a physical location and then using it in like an augmented reality experience. When you do use that for a type of experience, because you've captured that environment, that physical environment, you can also insert 3D assets into it. And it's really great because, like, let's say there was a cemetery in your city, and you wanted to kind of like create a Halloween experience or a haunted experience. You can definitely go into that cemetery, probably at night as well. I'm not even sure. I mean, if it's open, and then you can like 3D scan or map that cemetery, and then using the background or that whole environment of the cemetery, you can upload like 3D assets onto it. And there's a few people that have done that here, especially on Over. There are definitely 3D artists, content creators doing that, and this is what we're here to talk about. So I want to do a shout out to the room. I want to do a shout out to Kbot. Hey Kbot, how's it going? Cortez from the Xenu Mainnets community. Hi Cortez. There's CryptoCam. There's Alex, our head of community management. It's so good to see you here. He's always here, and I really appreciate that. It is evening where he is at, and I just appreciate him supporting us and the community as well. I want to do a shout out to CryptoCam. Hey, CryptoCam. I believe every Thursdays he has or is it Wednesdays? I know he's got weekly spaces where he features like super women of Web3, which is really fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to. I don't always make it to his spaces, but I have been to about three, and you know what? I don't know where he finds these women of Web3, but like they're just awe inspiring. They really are, and it's you would never know what different things people are into and what they are doing if it weren't for people like CryptoCam, who who uses their platform like Twitter X Spaces to actually share and empower not only his guest speakers, but the listeners as well. I also want to do a shout out to, there's CNET's Moon. Hey, CNET's Moon, another Xenu Mainnets community member. It's so great to see them here. Hey, One Woman. There's Swavery here. I love that. And there's our power couple, 3D power couple, Brover and Strawberry. And in addition to Joe. So if you know the history, well, if you've been around for a while following Over the Reality and its usual suspects, you know that on Supar Saturday, Hexadized, one of our community members, actually featured Joe Soyo Crypto's 13 haunted hexes. So if you don't know, if you are listening or watching in the multi-stream, or you're watching me on Facebook or wherever this talking head is, um, so Joe Soyo Crypto has literally created 13 haunted hexes on obviously 13 overlands on Over the Reality spatial computing platform. And I was able to venture into some of them last Saturday. And honestly, you really need your own time. So I was thinking about this. I know that a lot of people, the reality is there's a lot of people that can't always, or like, here, how am I going to say this? There's some people where they have limited mobility. Now, whether that is something to do with their physicality, or whether it's something to do emotionally, like how some people are they have psychological or emotional issues that they're dealing with that they're not able to actually go out and socialize. There are also people that, yeah, like they're not able to participate in these like social activities. And I know for a fact that having these experiences, like any type of metaverse or virtual world or even gaming, there's a lot of positives that you can come out of things like that. So when we're talking about the upcoming Halloween season, and especially, you guys think about this, especially you have family and friends, everybody that's watching this and people that are listening today and in the future, when if they choose to play this back. I'm trying to tell my dog to be quiet with a little, nudge of the foot. But anyway, where was I? Okay, so here's the thing. You have family members and friends, and everybody here that's listening to me on Twitter X Space anyway, they're kind of like already familiar with all the different technologies of Web3, right? We have augmented reality, there's virtual reality. XR now is like a huge thing, which is like really an AR, VR mix. And then we also have artificial intelligence, there's crypto and blockchain. But think about this. All your family members and friends, they have a mobile phone. And I'm sure all of them have downloaded apps, right? They have like a number of apps on their phone, whether it's for banking apps, financial apps, productivity apps, but they do have gaming apps, I'm pretty sure. So wouldn't it be a great time, especially now, to try to, and if you haven't already, I don't know why you haven't, to go to the Play Store or your App Store on your mobile phone and look for Over the Reality. It's here. It's like you see it. It's the PFP of Over. It's a hexagon. It's like a multicolored hexagon. It's called Over, OVER, and I think there's a dash, the reality. I really encourage you to download the app, and I will be putting up links here for Joe's, or the portal to Joe's 13 haunted hexes. In addition to, we also have a content creator called Altered Alley, and I believe he created an experience on Over called Haunted Alley. Isn't that insane? So what I'm trying to say is, if you haven't already, you can always download the Over app. You can get your family and friends to download the Over app, and within that app you can also like keep the links that I will be sharing with you, or bookmark the links I will be sharing with you, but you can also explore all the different augmented reality / virtual reality experiences that people have created on Over. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because then this will get your family and friends the way they can experience like AR, VR, wherever they are in their location, like be it their living room, be it on your backyard, or even in a mall while you're walking, while you're waiting for your mom or your sister or your wife, shopping. And then, man, you're sitting out there in the benches. You can actually download the app, check out the experiences, and like, I wouldn't call it resurrect, like but like see what the AR experience is around you. And I think it's a great way to introduce people, like especially your family and friends, to this new type of technology. Because remember, Remember when nobody had, a lot of people did not have mobile phones. Remember when only certain people had those beige like bricks, like the first mobile phones, like they were really heavy and they had to like, you had to attach them to your car, what's it called? Electricity, and it had this big long black antenna. And I believe when I was growing up, there was only realtors who had them and like businessmen, because they I think they cost like five, seven, $10,000. I could be wrong, but they were quite expensive and heavy, and nobody ever envisioned. You could not even envision like, why would I need to have a phone in my pocket? And now everybody does. And then sometime in the early 2000, no, mid 2000s, people would say, now, why would even a child, why would I even give a child like a mobile phone, especially an iPhone, when that is so expensive? Children don't need iPhones. And what do we see? Right. So this is what I'm trying to say. People are going to be asking, well, what this whole AR VR thing, that's kind of nice and everything, but like, why, like, how does that deal with me? It's because AR is going to be the future. And that is what I love about over the reality. The co-founders already had it. Like there's Decentraland, there's Sandbox, there's Spatial. They're all quite closed virtual world systems. They're fantastic. Each and every one of them are great in its own way, because they have content creators, like empowering themselves and others, creating experiences where people can collaborate and get together. It's I'm not putting down any type of platform at all. But what I love about Over is because it's literally over the real world. If we're going to talk about metaverses, I hate that word metaverse, but if we are going to refer to metaverses, I would refer to Over as a ubiquitous metaverse. Literally, you are on the Over metaverse. You just don't know it. The only time you will know it is through a portal through your phone. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is like portals. So we have people like Joe Sawyer Crypto. I hope Altered Alley comes in. Does anybody, I'm going to ping Altered Alley. He's probably really busy, but I'd love for him to join as well. He does stop by, but these content creators, specifically today, not just for today, but they have been creating different experiences on different platforms. I think Joe's created some on, I believe, Crypto Voxel, or I can't remember. Like he's created a lot on the different platforms. But over the reality, it will be a platform where if you have, like, let's say, a set of X-Real glasses, or maybe I even heard there was a rumor, there's always rumors, right? There was a rumor that Apple is going to come up with their own AR glasses in the next 3 to 5 years. That was a tweet, or one of my Apple News things. Like I literally saw the headline. I didn't click it to open it up to see, but like, whatever. It is what it is, right? And then Meta's prototype Orion, I don't know when that's going to actually become a mainstream, but it eventually will be. So we will eventually all, in some form or other, have some type of wearable, whether it's glasses or definitely some type of glass. And for those of people who don't wear glasses or don't need to, I know you guys wear like sunglasses. It's going to be some type of like that, where we can be walking around. So just when we could not imagine everybody having a mobile phone, walking around with a phone on their pocket, we will all have some type of glass walking around, whether we always use it or not. We'll be used. It probably, AR VR will probably be embedded in our window shield, in our windshields, in our car. I don't even know, but this is why I love about Over, because they're quite future forward in thinking about AR, because AR really is the thing. When you're talking about merging any type of like communication, information, any type of data. Think about experiential marketing, right? Think about what retailers and brands can do. Think about what Red Bull. I know Red Bull's probably created some type of AR experience. I don't know. I don't really follow them, but can you imagine once the world really understands what over spatial computing platform can really do, then it's probably going to be like Google. I mean, I'm not, I mean, like, you know how Google is search? Google really isn't search. Google started out as a search, but really Google is really all about advertising and it's, yeah, Google really is like an advertising platform, but it's also, they get us to search it because then it gets all our data for what we search. But I feel like to me, if we're going to take that analogy, I really feel that over the reality can actually be like the Google of spatial computing and AR experiences because they have like this layer over the physical world. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, oh yes, Altered Alley came in. I'm actually just looking at the camera right now because I am multi-streaming. I'm not really looking down at the Twitter X space, but now I am. Let me do a shout out. Hey, Jorge. Jorge from Bit Basil is here. This is really fantastic. And I'm glad Jorge is here from Bit Basil because I do want to mention Bit Basil later on. Altered Alley, I'm so glad you're here. Who else just joined? Elias is here. Thank you, Elias, for joining. And then we have Chicken Mogul. Oh, Chicken Mogul. I love that. All right, so let's get started. First of all, here's the thing. You see Altered Alley, he's got that turquoise, or I don't know what kind of blue-green turquoise color with a skeleton rabbit. Please follow Altered Alley, and please also follow Joe. He's a guy with the bowler hat with like money all around him. If you follow them, and if you follow the Twitter feeds, I'm gonna actually invite them to speak. Hello, and follow their Twitter feeds. You will be able to see the links to the content they have created on Over. Now, it's not just Over, but this is an Over space, so I'm going to talk about Over with other things too. But I know Altered Alley's created a lot of stuff on spatial and other 3D platforms in addition to Joe, but we're just going to talk about Over. I know I sent Joe a speaker invite. Sometimes when I throw a mic, they're not. Oh, yes, they are. Oh my God, everything is working out well. And guys, guess what? Not only are we 2 weeks into Halloween, but it's a full moon today. Like literally, isn't that like insane? Like woo! And I also have my skeleton, if you can see. It's from the dollar store. I bought 3 of these last year. I'm not really into skeleton. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But I just thought it would be cool for a theme. Oh, it's anyway. Yeah, I have my skeletons with me. Okay, let's talk to Altered Alley and Joe. I'm gonna bring up Altered Alley. We don't often get to hear him speak, but it's so great when he does. Altered Alley, you have the mic.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's good to see everybody, all these cool people in here, building cool stuff. So yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have any speech or anything ready to go, but this right now we're doing like the Haunted Alley thing, which is kind of like a multi-platform haunted experience. A bunch of stuff geolocated on Over, which is pretty cool. And then on the geolocated Over stuff, there's like portals to, other platforms, spatial and others. So yeah, it's a pretty creepy thing. You know what I mean? Getting into portals and how it all works, and tying in ghosts and ghouls and whatnot. So yeah, this year's it's actually been pretty busy. I wasn't even planning on going all out this year, but tons of people just started rolling through the spots. So it's like, all right, well, let's do this. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's just having a little fun,
No, I think that's fantastic. So I pinned up your Haunted Alley, and it's from October 13th to 3rd. Man, these things that you put up there, they're quite ghoulish. They kind of freak me out. They really are. They really, really are. And I think it's fantastic. So when you're talking about this portal is through Over the Reality, how do we get there?
Well, the Haunted Alley thing, it's largely on spatial. And it's all real world places, like real world haunted spots. And then basically what I'm doing is I'm geolocating a portal to those places, like in the real spot. It's really kind of freaky. Because if you go like to those real world places and you hold your phone up, like it's like you can see ghosts, you know what I mean? It's like you see the portal floating there. you open the portal, and then all the people who are in there, you can now see them in the real place, and talk to them and everything. It's a real weird thing, but it's like it's it's like a little slogan that goes with it. Like in Haunted Alley, you are the ghost. You know what I mean? So if somebody is in one of these places, opens up their phone, they literally see like spirits, that you can't see otherwise, just walking around. So it's trippy, really.
Oh my, okay. Okay, so, okay. Oh my God. Let me get this straight. So, do we need to like enter a spatial space, like like the many ones you've created, and then through there find the portal to over?
Yeah, there's a couple. I still gotta really connect all the ones on over. There's a couple other, like, I know where it's an over spot, but Superworld. A lot of stuff's geolocated on Superworld. And the biggest one actually was a company that actually closed. So unfortunately, a lot of it you can't get to anymore. It was called Mappin. But yeah, that was like super tied in and working great. So for over, I own like a small spooky little town in Arkansas, and like there's just all these different places there. Like there's this over 100-year-old theater, which is part of it, which is a good one, where people in this theater can open their phone and use over to see like the over avatars or spirits, whatever you want to call them, running around. So yeah, you like more or less the meeting place for it is on Spatial, and it's just called Haunted Alley, and that's where you kind of get started. And from there, it originally started with like 13 spots a couple years ago. In Spatial, I lost track. There's really over like 60 of them, and I would like to own each one on Over the Reality, but just financially. Basically, I've geolocated most of it just in this small little town. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think it's fantastic that you have dibs on a monopoly on that little town. And that's kind of like your digital canvas for creating like AR, VR experiences on Over the Reality. You know what I love about this? And for those of you who are listening, and here's the thing, it you know that there are different platforms like so-called metaverses, or like you've heard of Spatial, you've heard of Decentral. Something's going on with my camera. Anyway, uh-oh, it's haunted. If you guys aren't seeing this, like the light it keeps switching, and there's no light, like the windows at the back. So literally,
I keep telling everyone that Haunted Alley is real. Like it's not a game. Like once it's weird. Seriously, once you like
what
get
the?
into it and start seeing these things, I had like AI. I tried to talk to AI about it and like how is this actually working and shit. And it's something like you ever seen that? It's like that slit experiment.
Yes.
Where the thing like splits, but if like somebody's looking at it, it only goes through one thing.
Yes,
It was
yes.
explaining this thing like that, and I don't get physics. I don't know, but it was explaining that it's something to do with that. That once you see these things, it becomes real, and you really enter this thing. It's super freaky and spooky as hell.
Okay, okay. So okay, you're freaking me out. You're really freaking me out. But anyway, I'm glad this is recorded until it isn't. So if I suddenly leave and you hear a scream, you know what happened. Blame it on Altered Alley for channeling these weird kind of things. But what I love about this is, if you heard of him, you heard Altered Alley say that the center of it, or the entrance to it, is really through Spatial. And I think this is fantastic how we get to kind of like integrate all these different communities and platforms, and then kind of like, I wouldn't call it interoperability. That is not really the word, but I love that Altered Alley and many other people are using a collection of platforms or metaverses or whatever to create their content. And they're not really looking at it as, oh no, I'm just on Spatial, or I'm just on Over, or I'm totally just on Decentraland, or oh no, I'm only on Sandbox. That is not true. You know what I love about that? If you're a content creator, 3D artist, if you know Unity or Blender or Maya or anything like that, like the world is yours. Literally, the 3D virtual worlds are yours because you have that skill, and it means you can also learn that. You are able to literally, they are canvases for you to create. So Spatial is a canvas to create, Decentraland, the Sandbox, Crypto Box. So I always say Over the Reality is a digital canvas all over the world to create. And I think that's fantastic that Altered Alley has done that. I really do. Joe is up here. Jorge, I know you want to come up and speak. I just wanted to like give a shout out to Joe. Oh, and Hexadize is here. Hey, Hex, so glad you're here. And we also have Pedro. Oh, Pedro, you're so great. Pedro the cool. I noticed that you've been liking and or comment or liking and sometimes retweeting some of the stuff that we're doing. I really appreciate that. I want to do a shout out to my friend Helen Cantu. We used to be nurses in southern Texas, but now she's up on the northeast coast, and I really love that. I won't dox her, but I'm so glad she's joined us. Yeah, Joe. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. I know we've been talking about your 13 haunted X's all the time, but you know what? This is the I guess it's not a holiday. This is the time for Halloween, and plus you can't talk about the different things that content creators are creating enough, because there's always different people listening in. And even the people that are listening and they've heard about that, they've heard about your 13 haunted hexes, they've heard about Altered Alley's haunted alley. They're like, yeah, they just hear it, but sometimes they need to hear it 10 times to actually download the app or go into Spatial, go into Over the Reality and actually visit. And I know Hexadize knows this. So it's almost like you have to keep telling people until they're like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me just download the Over app, or let me just get into Spatial. Let me just do that. So this is why we're doing this. Joe, you have the mic. I want to know do you know how many visitors you've had in through the portal, at least through the starting place of your 13 haunted hexes?
I haven't looked at the beginning, but it tapers off after about 3 or 4. I have this tendency to imagine these things as, oh, it's just real easy to jump through, and let's just do 57,000 things, and everybody will figure it out, no problem. And so this time I was like, 13 hexes, and it seems so simple in my head, but there's a lot to it, honestly, for like the player, the user. It's going to take you a little time. It takes a little time to look. The good news is you don't have to download the app to do it. There's QR codes and you can click the link. But yeah, I usually, so when we did, Mince and I, we made the murder mystery thing like 2 years ago. And we were thinking of it as a board game. Well, you went around and found NFTs that you had to mint, and there were over a dozen weapons. There were 9 locations, 7 characters. It was insanely complicated. But to us, we're like, oh, it's so easy to play. I get it. So, but the 13 hexes is just a fun haunted house that you go through step by step with a bit of like an immersive comic experience as a narration. So it kind of helps keep you on focus and directed through it. Is the best way I can explain it.
No, I love that. And I'm glad that you brought up the whole user interface thing, because it's like, oh yeah, I just thought I'd just create this and people figure it out, because I know you do this. But you know what? You know how you have the whole user experience, UI, UX on websites and mobile? Now we're actually seeing the need for it, or the logistic think through when you're coming to create experiences. And I guess that's what a lot of the game developers have to go through too, right? Except now it's not like I know you can switch from third person view to first person view, but you're actually like gaming on a device. But now with these types of experiences, you get to be immersed with it. And especially when we start to wear these glasses, where we will be able to immerse ourselves in these AR AR experiences. This is like insane. But yeah, I mean, that's something to think about. That's a whole other thing when it comes to like how you, so you're a content creator and you know, you've mapped out exactly how you want the experience to be and how you want people to interact with your experience. But then that's from your brain. Like it's everybody knows this. Like I'm not this is not something new. So now it's like it's probably interesting for you to see. You know how we have heat maps on where people go on your website? It'd be really great. I don't know if they have that where they have some sort of like heat map where people can see where people initially went to when they went into an experience and where they ended up. So it would really help the content creator to go, I should have put this there. I should put a marker there. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's going to be that, if not already. But like, guys, we have to remember we are still early on. Like, this is still so early. I know that K-Bot's here, Alex, Elias, Brover, like we're all here. We've all been talking about this for like 3, 4, 5, 10, a decade. Like if me, I've been waiting since 2009 for the ability to create AR content over the real world. That's a whole other story. And then I found over in 2021. So like that's a long time, but still, it's still new. And I know like just because Meta 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago announced their prototype holographic glasses called Orion, it's not even here yet ish. And then now there's Meta coming out and all that stuff, but still, like we are still so early on. And I think it's fantastic that people like Joe and Altered Alley and Hexadize and everybody else that are creating, especially one woman, she's creating things on spatial. You guys are all, here's the thing, you guys, I hope you don't get early adopter burnout. It's, to me, that's a thing. I got early adopter burnout. Like I did. I was creating shit on Second Life in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And yeah, and I was like waiting for when the future would catch up to me, really. And now the future is here, sort of, but it's like, no, it hasn't really caught up. It really hasn't, because it's still not mainstream. And I just stopped. So I want to do, for all those content creators out there, you're creating a lot of stuff. You're going to town on spatial and over the reality and crypto voxel or super world or wherever you're creating. And it's great. But you know what? It's still so new. I really hope that you guys have the longevity and the gumption and the perseverance to stick it out in the next 3, 5, 10 years. Because here's the thing, there's going to be like studios, XR studios, that there are going to be studios that have been making film forever, right? And there are people in there that are learning like Unreal Engine 5 and Unity and all that stuff. And there are kids that are 12, 13, 14 learning that. And then they're going to be, when they're 18, 21, they're going to be hired by some Hollywood studio or some, I don't know, some studio in Singapore that's going to be making these fantastic XR experiences because they've already had the funding. And not only that, not only do they have the funding, but everything is already in place, and the technology is already going to be here in terms of some type of wearable. And also the mindset of mainstream is it's already going to be prepared. So I'm just saying that for you content creators out there, I really hope you go the long way, because what I've seen, Kiki, for what I've seen in many iterations of like future technologies is there are startups that create, and then they're there, and then they don't make it. They don't make it they don't make it. We don't see them when the world is ready. I could name a lot. Like where the fuck is Foursquare? Whatever happened to Foursquare? Remember Skype? Is Skype still around even? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just like there was Places. There was a company out of like northern, I think they were Swedish or Nordic. They were called Places, Plizes, and they were like in 2003. They were creating geolocated like Wi-Fi. Like, where is that? Oh, Waze. Oh my God, Waze, please, Waze. Everybody's using Waze now. Oh, Waze. What does Waze say? Oh, shut up. Waze started in like 2007, 8, 9. And I remember doing the beta test for Waze, and they were tweeting to me. And I was like, they were like, hey, so Digital Fam, how's the traffic in your area? And I go, I don't know. I don't have a car, but I'm on the bond. Like, I was living in Frankfurt at the time. So my point is, for you content creators that are so passionate about creating content, I really hope you continue and you really become part of that. I guess part of that creator community when the world is already ready. That's the thing. So please don't get early adopter burnout like I did. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, hi LM Designs. Yeah, what's it? Oh, you know what? So I think I'm so sorry that Jorge had to drop off. I know he wanted to be a speaker and he was there for like about like 5-7 minutes, but I think he dropped off at a half mark, which I think he probably had to go to a meeting. But I know he'll circle back. I'll definitely mention Basil. But yeah, guys, just don't get early adopter burnout. And I know that Joe dropped up. Does anybody else want to speak? I'm just here yakking away, and I'm just like literally sorry that I'm just me talking. There's so many things we can talk about, but I just like, okay, Altered Alley. I guess, okay, Altered Alley, you're still here. Could you give us the link, or is the link kind of like ready for us to enter spatial so that we can go from spatial to over? Sir? Oh, okay. So he dropped down. It could be like a connection thing. It could be Twitter X. No big deal. We do have one woman. Hey, one woman. Okay. If I think 2 weeks ago or last week, one woman. You know what I want to ask you, right?
Yeah, that's why I came up to talk.
Say it. Well, what? Tell us. Give us an update.
Okay, I got my glasses.
Okay, what glasses are they? You got to say the brand.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. Let me go get my glasses. Here we go. I got my glasses. They're X-Real, and it's the Pro 2. Well, that's not the exact name, but I don't have it here. Anyway, I love my glasses. However, it seems like, I wear in real life, I wear glasses. And the reason I haven't had my eyes surgically corrected is because the one eye, they're afraid to do it and I'm a painter, I'm an artist. So I actually really do need my eyesight. So for right now, we're continuing to use traditional lenses to correct so I put my glasses on thinking, well, maybe it's not so bad. I won't have to but to be honest, to make full use of them, I've got to now go back, get a new prescription and order lenses for them. But it's easy to do. It's some additional money because my one eye it's a really neat, expensive lens, but hey, it's going to be worth it. I am so excited about these glasses and how can I put it? The added dimension it gives to what I'm doing here and I don't hate the term metaverse, here in the metaverse. I work on spatial predominantly, and I really love it. It's just changed my life. It's changed my art. It's just opened up venues I never thought would be there. And Altered Alley knows we're both there on spatial. We both have gone through the periods where it seemed like nobody was ever coming online. Remember? And now it's coming back. So that's cyclical. We're always going to have the cycles where we're going to have a lot of people coming in, or we're not going to have. It's going to be like a desert. Well, while it's a desert, we create. Then we create. When there's people in, we communicate with them and promote our work and promote our spaces. And this type of experience in life. So, yeah, but I love them. I recommend them, the glasses. I highly recommend them. Go for the more expensive, the twos, if you can afford it. It's worth it. And I'll let you know how it's going after I get my new lenses and put them in. And so that's life. That's life here at this corner of the metaverse.
Well, I'm glad that you've got them. I'm glad you're using them. I'm also glad that you're going to get the prescription lenses, because that way you'll really get your, use out of it. I have a question for you. I know it's still early on, but do you think you'll return them within the 30 days?
No, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep them.
Okay. That's fantastic.
I'm keeping them. No, if I were going to return them, there's no way I'd be ordering the lenses.
Oh, that's right. Duh. That's right.
Yeah. Because that's going to be about another $125 for me here in the States. So, for the lenses.
Oh no, I'm so glad. And you know what? Have you been tweeting about it or not yet? Are you waiting for your prescription
not yet.
lens?
I
Okay.
want to wait till I get the lenses in and get the total experience, and then I'm going to start tweeting about it and posting images, whatever I can do with it. So.
Okay, I'm really excited for that.
I think I'm going to use them a lot and not just for watching movies.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
You can do that. You can watch movies. You sit there. I could sit in my bedroom, in my bed, no TV in there. And if there was someone else in bed with me, I would not be bothering them because I've got the total experience right there on my head.
Well, that's true. You know what?
Yeah.
That's a whole other social discussion. Like,
It is.
It really is, right? Right.
I don't believe TVs should be in bedrooms, personally. I think they get in the way of things. So I keep my glasses out in another part of the house.
Oh, that's good. It's so good to hear from you. And I'm so glad that you're really going to keep your X-Real glasses. I think you got the X-Real Air 2 Pros.
Yeah, the Air 2 Pros, right.
I love that. Okay, Now that Altered Ali's back, I'm going to ask him, so is there a link? Can you share us the link where we can enter through Spatial and then, go through the portal to Over?
If I can go get a link, but I'd have to leave the space.
Oh.
If you just Google Haunted Alley, I'm pretty sure it just shows up first.
Okay.
The Spatial spot.
Okay.
Getting to the Over spaces through Spatial takes a bit of time though.
Okay.
But yeah, if you just Google Haunted Alley, you'll probably get there.
Okay, thank you, and we will do that. So for those of you listening, if I do, when I do find it, I will point it tweet it under this, what is it called, the Twitter Space recording purple thing. So I think Hexadize might even be able to find it. Can you find it, Hex? Anyway, thanks for that, Altered Alley. And one woman, I'm so glad you came up to speak. You know what? It's always nice seeing you every Wednesdays. So every Wednesdays we have Dope Stilo, and he has Super Wednesdays where we go into Spatial and he features like a created space. And I love that because not only does he is these weekly Super Wednesdays promoting what people are creating on Spatial, but you get to kind of like hang out with people. Like usually it's the same people, but I've noticed that there are more different people that I haven't seen in all the other Wednesdays. And I love that. I know one woman is always there, and it's just great to see what people have created, like all the things you can interact with. So yesterday I was in this space and I got on with Jody the artist, and I was the driver of some bus, and then I sank it. I couldn't drive the thing. I sank it in the water, and then thank God Dope Stilo like got everybody all into like where we can party. But they were like freaking hilarious. Oh, so we have Brover, you've got the mic, sir. How are you?
Hello. Do you hear me in double with an echo?
No.
Because Strawberry Cake has the speaker on. It's a little bit far away, so she put the sound down. It's good. Anyway, hello. We are in Lille. Strawberry Cake and I almost finished with France. I had a question about Ali. I'm looking at the video that you posted. And I see that the characters are kind of well put. Did you use the mapping for that?
No, actually. and that's actually not even the right hex on that one. That one's actually open it remotely. The actual spot for that one's actually a couple blocks away. I was hoping to do. I want to get. I gotta talk to Joe and see how you get the QR codes for the over spots, so I can get those out there to people. It's a great way to do it. Man.
Just go to the website and look at it, and then it'll show you when you click on it. Like it'll show the experience, like where you can find your map and all that kind of stuff, and it'll give you the QR code right there in the top right. There's like a little icon. You click, and it'll pop up in a second window. And I just screenshot it.
Perfect. Yeah, because I want to put a thing out there, like, going to open these things remotely, and like whoever could do the best little creepy TikTok video or whatever, give them some NFTs or something like that. So yeah, I still got to get the over chunk of this really up there. I've kind of been promoting the spatial so far, but yeah, up next is over. So yeah, thanks for that, Joe.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question, because I thought that the place was not that it was put with Unity, but actually it was done with the web builder. Is that right?
Yeah, that one. Just a web builder. You know what I mean? For some stuff, it's like eventually I want to get into the Unity builds and all that stuff. But I think Digital Femme had it right with like the burnout and all that stuff. I think as small builders right now to be going overboard on Unity, I just don't have the time for the amount of people that see it. You know what I mean? I think if I'm successful in this stuff and get some funding and really spend the time in Unity, and then it'd probably line up with really when more people are actually coming into these things. So yeah, I kind of know Unity, and same thing with Spatial. Like they're really trying to push these like Unity games that are just, they're all right. They're just really not quite there yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, these big companies who have millions of dollars to invest in all these people from, all over to build these Unity games. It's like, good for them, get it rolling. But I think the whole Unity thing is going to hit a bit later. As more people are jumping into these things, it's going to it's going to make more sense for me to spend time building it. That being said, the stuff that Joe built, I think is in Unity and is pretty darn cool. And, I think a lot of it's like, it's on its way. It's like, it's not 100% how cool this stuff is going to be. It's a growth thing. And like all the content that we're all putting out, it's like it changes constantly. If you go back and look at stuff we did 6 months ago, it's like what we're doing now blows that away. And it's going to just continue to do that. And yeah, I totally agree with like trying to stick it out. And, especially as the independent builders, like the truth is most of us are going to burn out or get mulled over by these big companies with endless budgets who just put out, I'm just going to beige crap. You know what I mean? Just safe, soft, beige, boring for everybody crap. And more or less, it's like, we talk Web3. It's like, why are we trying to get there? It's like, because they destroyed Web2. The Web2 is horrible. Like Google isn't a search engine anymore. It's an ad engine. Instagram isn't a place that artists show their work anymore. No, it's a place that they sell you crap. Same TikTok shop, all that shit. So it's like, we talk about like Web2, Web3. It's like, I'm a stick in the mud. Like I'm trying to create a place that's like for people. And like, you get into like building metaverse spaces. Like there's all these like rules and shit like that. It's like, sorry for swearing. I get upset about this. But it's like, this stuff is not being built for the people. This is being built for whales. When they build a spot, it's like begging that one person with money will put their money into that. And even though it sucks, it's got $1 million behind it to push it out to 1 million bots to get the views. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm big on like, screw that crap, like support each other, get small businesses, small creators in on this stuff and be an ecosystem amongst ourselves where we don't have to like give everything we make to middlemen. You know what I mean? Like peer to peer, do this stuff. So it's like, I really think there's a chance to make the metaverse cool. And like, everyone's like, we're early. We're not. We're 10 years behind. These companies have had plans for years and executing them. It's like, we're early for the mass adoption. Yes. But the whole metaverse thing, it's like we're actually not that early. It's like we're late, and if we don't like come together and say we want something that doesn't suck, it's like Web3 is going to be worse than Web2. You know what I mean? Sorry.
No, don't ever apologize. I 100% agree with you. And I love that you got to share that, because I think I haven't heard you say something passionate like that, that is not just creator content related, but really what you feel. And I feel like that resonates with a lot of people. And you're right. The metaverse is not new, but the mass for mass adoption it is. And I will say, I did, you know what, thank you, Hex. Thank you, Hex found what Ira posted. Ira posted a link to your haunted alleys, and Hex found it, so I got to post it up on the nest. And in addition to Joe's 13 haunted X's, I really appreciate that, Hexa does. And shout out to Ira, who is who actually was able to do that. Joe, go ahead. High five, Joe.
No, I wanted to shout out. I see Cyber Nerd Babies lurking in the bottom down there. Early Unity builder, like over OG royalty right there. And worked with some of the stuff with us in the past. Thank you very much. Built the Hell Knight avatar. So probably one of the coolest Unity builders that OVR has probably seen.
Yes, thank you.
Just wanted to throw that out there. And Altered Alley, he has a style. I remember the first time I worked with you was NFT Seattle, I think. And he did like a cool tribute with a guitar for Seattle musicians. Let's see, I can't remember. I know it was like Kurt Cobain. I remember the big guitar. I have a video of it somewhere I should share, where it was right there on the Seattle waterfront. It was really cool. And I think it's still there maybe. But now seeing, like he said, the progression, I can still see the style that you had the whole time, but it's grown into something that's absolutely amazing. So I wanted to shout you out too. But that's it. That was it. Thank you,
Joe. I'm so
and Mintz. Sorry, Mintz too. Mintz is coming back in the circle. He contacted me and we did. I don't know if you saw the beans.
Yes,
so
I saw.
He's been doing a lot of ads and AR and stuff like that with his mapping his coffee shop there in Cusco, Peru, and trying to animate stuff. And he's been doing a lot of stuff trying to actually make a business application for it, which is really cool. So if you get time, check his stuff out as well.
No, thanks, Joe. I'm so glad you got to do a shout out to Cyber Nerd Baby. I did not scroll down, and my God, we've been trying to get Cyber Nerd Baby here. Like, oh my God, you guys. I'm so glad they're up here to speak. Cyber Nerd Baby, how are you? They've been crazy. I think they're one of the first builders to really showcase what Over the Reality can do. And then they partnered with I think Griot. I can't remember. Estefania and I know his name is Griot, at Griot or something, Griot on Twitter, but
Marquand.
Yeah, that's right, Marquand in Chicago. So she did, the Cyber Nerd Baby team did, like, they partnered with a fashion show in Chicago for a real life fashion show, and now they're doing Roblox. Cyber Nerd Baby, how are you?
Hi guys, I haven't been on Twitter, on X now for a while because I'm like super busy, and now it's only me. There's no team. It's me only.
Oh wow. Okay, I know you're doing so much on Roblox. How is that going?
Well, it's going okay. I wouldn't say that my first game which I released was a blast, but I'm approaching like 1 million visits right now, and it did not flop. It has many thousands people of fan base, but I can't say the game went viral. And now I'm close to finishing my second game. It's going to be a horror game, which is more mainstream, more than sci-fi. So I think it's going to be better this time. So yeah, I'm pretty much doing the same thing every day. I just wake up, I open Roblox Studio, and I keep developing.
Okay, does Roblox have their own creator tools, or do you use Unity or something else, or you use something and then you import it? Does Roblox have their own creator tools?
They have their own, their entirely own game engine, and that is called a Roblox Studio. And I think it's pretty powerful. It can really produce really good results, and you can really build good games. I can't say that it is as good as Unity, but the user base is huge, and like this is the most attractive part here.
No, that's true. They have a huge user base from 13 younger and on. And I know there are 12, 11-year-old content creators there that are making money like it's insane. I got a question for you. Don't mean to put you on the spot. I know you're so busy into Roblox. Will you ever, I guess, of course you will. When do you think you'll be able to build again on Over the Reality? Oh,
Well, I'd say I moved past isolated experiences, and I'm into full-scale game development right now. It's like storytelling, many hours of gameplay, game mechanics. I don't know, you name it. And well, I'd like to work with any platform which give me the tools to do my storytelling. This is like my new passion, you know. I want to tell stories, and I want to tell pretty long stories, you know. So the last game I did it has like 3 hours of gameplay. It took me 7 months of like a single game development. And now I got faster, got better, and I'm better at coding. So this game I'm developing for the last 3 months, and I guess in next 2 months it's going to be released. But I'm not answering your question. Yeah, I actually don't know. It's really hard to scale down to isolated experiences again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand you. I 100% understand you. And I want to say something. So when I talked about please early adopters, content creators who are creating now on Spatial or Over or wherever you're creating, do not get early adopter burnout because it is a thing. I did want to say that there are people that I've seen in the startup realm, like cycles of it, like 20, 30 years back, who they were there and they continued, and now they've made a name for themselves. They're out there doing stuff, and they're they're not reinventing. What they're doing is they're constantly staying relevant with the technology, the times, of the narrative. One of them is Robert Scoble. Another one is oh my God, what is his name? He's from Toronto. His name is he used to do the wearable meetups in Toronto, and then I introduced him to somebody, and then they did the first like wearable sports something AR/VR in 2015 in Toronto. Tom Emmerich. Tom Emmerich now he was in Toronto. He believed in like the AR/VR XR space even before it started, and then he just continued. He moved out to San Fran. I think he worked with whoever he worked with. I think he worked with Third Wall, Facebook, Meta. He's doing something now. He pushes out monthly AR newsletter on LinkedIn. He's one of them. Who else is there? I can't remember, but there are a few people that have been around for 30 years, 25 years, very early on, but they just kept pushing. And I feel like Cyber Nerd Baby is one of them. And what I want to know is the fact that she's female is really interesting, because I have not seen an early adopter startup female that is still around, that had started something 20, 25 years ago, and it's still and whatever they're doing is still very much relevant. I'm not kidding. Yes, we just heard from on Tech Talk Tuesday, we brought on Scarlett Arana. She was in spatial computing. She's one of the co-founders of Basil. However, she kind of only started, like, literally, she said she got in 2020, 2015. I'm talking about early 20s and like 2001, 2, 3, 4, and even late 90s. So the fact that Cyber Nerd Baby has, like, this, Web3, 1 month in Web3 is like 5 years or something like that. And the fact that Cyber Nerd Baby is still pushing, and not only that, she's found a platform that is powerful enough to keep up with her imagination and what she wants to do. And I know in one of the Tech Talk Tuesday talks, I think this was like early on this year, this is what I said. They did a shout out to platforms that what it's almost like game on platforms, because the content creators, they're here, they're ready, they're here running, they can run races around you. But are you ready for the content creators? Are you ready? Because they are ready. You just have to give them the tools and the platform to like freaking go. And we see that with Cyber Nerd Baby. And I understand, like, she'll come back with Over, but I think she's kind of like surpassed Over already. Like her like what she wants to do, what she needs to do, what she feels she's passionate to do. And right now I'm so glad that she can do that with on Roblox. I know, Altered Alley, you gave a high five. What would you like to say?
Yeah, it's first, it's great to hear Cyber Nerd Baby and seeing all the awesome stuff she's doing. And Roblox, like the Roblox generation is the metaverse generation. Like those are the people, like when those kids, hit working age, they're going to work in the metaverse and they're being trained on Roblox. So it's going to be seamless. You know what I mean? Cryptocurrency to them, little farmer coins and all that stuff. It's second nature. They wouldn't, rethink it at all. You know what I mean?
My daughter is 100% integrated into Roblox. I don't even have like another word to say. She recognizes only one currency, which is Robux.
Right. They want their allowance in Roblox. If they did, good at a test, they want Roblox dollars. Like first people, they're a little bit older. You know what I mean? We're like blown away, and like we're all future thinkers. Like this world is coming. We're gonna be walking around in these glasses, and this is gonna be insane. And there's just gonna be layers of games and shopping, and you name it. You know what I mean? Like we're, we are early in that sense. You know what I mean? And it's like, but those Roblox kids, they're nothing. It's their future. You know what I mean? It's like, but we have a little bit of say, if we try and put the stuff out there. I'm like, hey, we see this coming, this is what we want. We don't want this to be 100% corporate kind of thing. Like we want other options, decentralized options, something else besides the two options you give us. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think the work we're doing is actually incredibly important. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, we're just doing art and all this stuff, but she's 100% right. And I tried to kind of get into Roblox because, it's the future. But I just can't put up with a lot of kids. That's why I like Spatials, like 17 plus, and no kid's going to necessarily just be running around.
To be honest, I don't really hang out there, because, like the user base is way more younger. And there's some spaces for adults, like games for adults, like 70 plus, and you can go and talk to people, meet new people, but they are still young. It's like heavy Gen Z. Even if they're older, they're still Gen Zs, and it's like VR chat, basically. You still hang out with very, very young people compared to us. So I don't really hang out there, but I do enjoy making content for them and making games for them. I do enjoy when they enjoy it and when they become fans of the game, and then they do the fun art, and I mean, it's nice, but I don't really go to Roblox to hang out with the kids.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Go ahead. Sorry, Altered Alley.
No, I was just gonna say that's why we got to build something cool. That's why I have these like, graffitied skate park kind of places. It's like, no, this is just cool. It's not for kids. It's not adult, but it's like, grown up. Like if you're a little more grown, you're trying to kick off a little shirt company kind of thing. It's like, come check this place out. Like meet people from all over the world who gather in these places and do cool stuff, So it's like, yeah, so I get it. Like you build super cool stuff, but do you want to hang in there with those kids? It's like, no. And even having like 17 plus stuff on Roblox is like, a little icky. You know what I mean? So it's cool that there's other places, even like Second Life, like a humongous metaverse. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just cool.
No, don't get me started on Second Life. I hear ya. I want to ask Cyber Nerd Baby a question, but I also want to do a shout out to Josh Garrett. Hey, Josh, thank you so much for joining, and Virtual X, in addition to Stitch Films and Open Metaverse and Chica Art. Thank you so much for joining. Cyber Nerd Baby, I want to ask a question. How is it that you have not burned out yet? How is it that every time I stalk your feed, you've managed to surpass what you've done before, not only in passion, but in workload. What is that? Like, is that who you are? Like, what is your driving? What is that?
Well, I don't have life. I mean, like, this is the thing I'm living for. I just love games. I always used to play games, but now it's like, I don't know, it became an obsession, and I'm playing games every day. Like, I'm playing Silent Hill 2 right now, remake. It's absolutely incredible, and I play loads of games, and I develop games. This is the thing I live for, so I don't know how to burn out, to be honest. If I burn out, I don't even know what else, what else to do.
Okay, so you are one of these people who you're doing what you love. So when you do what you love, it is not work. And that is what they've been telling us for 25 years. If you ever want to get a job is journey of the broke. That's what I was told. Anyway, that's kind of funny. Job, J-O-B, journey of the broke. Don't listen to me. If you've managed to find if you manage to do what you love and stick to it and believe in it and get paid for it, that's like you're vibing, man. You're in that zone. And so I'm going to ask you, you don't have to answer this, but have you gotten paid for what you love to do, Cyber Nerd Baby?
Well, for quite some of the years, I've been paid just for the thing I'm doing, right? I'm like making games, I'm like developing spaces, and I get paid for it. We used to make Instagram filters, TikTok filters. Instagram shut down their filters right now, so we got jobless, and now it's only me, right? But with Roblox, to be honest, this is almost the first time where I actually get money just for what I develop. I don't get commissioned. I'm not paid by brands. I'm not told what to do. I'm fully developing, like, anything I want, anything that comes to my mind. I put it out there and I get money for it. I make wearables. Like, people buy them. I make assets, people buy them. I make game passes, people buy them. So that's how basically I make living right now. I'm not commissioned by anyone, and I'm not told by anyone what to do. The last time it was like that, it was actually with Over, where we used to win some of your guys' competition, and we were just paid for it, and it was like, wow, so nice. I get paid for my own imagination. I mean, this is a dream, right? So right now, it's kind of like this again. I can actually make games, and I just get paid by the players who play the game. So this is one of the most attractive part for me.
Because what Cyber Nerd Baby said is so critically valuable and important, and I hope that resonates with each and every one of us. So I know that there are a few people here who will never consider themselves as a content creator. Never. However, you are creators. You are created. You have been created. We all have that divine spark of creation in us. And you know what? You don't have to pay. Get on YouTube. Get on YouTube, search for Unity tutorials, Blender tutorials, Roblox Studio tutorials, and I guarantee if you just dedicate 1 hour a week, 1 hour a week, instead of watching like your Netflix show or I don't know what, 1 hour a week on YouTube, learning a Unity tutorial, a Blender tutorial. 1 year from now, 1 year from now, Thursday, October 17th, 2025, you will be creating content in one form or another. You will have been collaborating with somebody. You will never know. So for those of you who are listening, I know some of you here that go, I'm not a content creator. I'm just here to visit. I'm just here to learn. Well, guess what? You have the power to learn, because why? You are creators by DNA. You are genuinely creators. It's just a matter of blip. So use YouTube. YouTube is the perfect search engine to me. Google is all about ads. YouTube kind of is too, but YouTube is the perfect search engine, and that's what I'm going to do. I really want to thank Altered Alley. I'm not ending this, but I just want to say I want to take really the moment to honestly thank Altered Alley, One Woman, Cyber Nerd Baby, LM Designs, Hexadize, Kbot, Josh Garrett, Joe, Soyo, Virtual X. I'm just naming the people off the top of my head that I know have created content like Kbot, because I've seen you guys grind. Like Kbots came out with this book that One Woman and I have to do a actual schedule for a book read. Let's not forget that One Woman, and LM Designs as well. But I had early adopter burnout. Like that I've downloaded Unity since forever. Like I even interviewed Tom what's his face in 2010 in Berlin. He was like the Unity product evangelist. I have interviews of him. And yeah, but I just had such early adopter burnout, and that's my excuse. It's definitely an excuse, but I think it's time for me to get out of this freaking rut that I'm in. Because if I'm telling you guys that you can spend 1 hour a day learning Blender or Unity on YouTube, then I definitely need to like walk the talk. So like, thank you for that. I'm saying this now, but yeah, let's see, right? It's easier said than done. But the fact that Cyber Nerd Baby, this is like fantastic, because you've managed. Because I know we've had discussions, and you actually were one of the first people to be on Over's summer series, creator content summer series. We interviewed you, and then we went onto Discord, and you did showcase like a little bit of like what you were developing on Unity. However, I know that in the past you had gotten paid by brands to create certain content for them. But the fact that you said you're not paid by brands, you're not like given, like you're not told what to create, what to do, you're just creating on your own. And my gosh, the feedback that you're getting, the stuff that you're creating is users are the one that's buying it. Like that's got to be the most satisfying, most fantastic thing ever, to not be validated by a brand or a company or an award show saying, oh, you have to have this specs and that specs and this is the theme, right? And then we'll give you how many tokens for this. Oh, come on, right? Not knocking off any awards. No. It's just that what Cyber Nerd Baby has managed to get into this stream of vibration of just constantly creating. She's in a flow, man. She's in the flow. And I hope we all can find that. Guys, this is a full moon. And I don't know if you believe in full moon or new moon, but you better believe it because it's created. The whole universe was created by a creator. So you better believe, the energies of the moon and shit like that. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real. Because this is the full moon, it's time to like really dig in and reassess what no longer serves us in our lives. Okay? What are the things we are doing? Who are the people we are hanging out with that no longer serves us? Because the fact that this is a full moon and Cyber Nerd Baby is here with us. She's busy. And the nugget of what she shared with her experience, I hope that resonates with each and every one of us listening here, who's watching my talking head as well as here. Take it in and process it, because we are creators. It doesn't matter what you create. You don't have to create something in Web3, for heaven's sakes. Oh, no. You don't have to create something in Unity or Blender. You can do something in RL to create whatever it is. But let's just be reminded by that. But I really want to remind people, it's time, if you don't do it regularly. I know I do it regularly, especially every full moon. I do. I really reassess, what no longer serves me energetically. And it's a perfect time to let go. If you can. I'm not saying you had to do it, but just know that you can. And I think this is very special. I just love everybody. I mean, when when people say, oh, I love you guys, I'm always very skeptical, because it's like, what does that even mean? Like, you don't even know me. I don't even know Kbot. And I say, oh, Kbot, I love you. Like, really? Like, is that just something we say because we say it? Is that just like something we say like, oh, GM fam? Like, what the hell is GM? Good morning, okay, but fam, really? Are we really family? Like, sometimes I say that to myself, like, Like, why are these crypto calls saying GM family? Like, who's their family? Like, who, me? I'm not part of them. I don't even know. They paid for their followers. That's how come they're calls. Most of them. I'd like 85%, 97% of crypto calls that you see on Twitter or whatever you want to call it, Twitter X. They pay for their followers. I'm just saying. Like, oh yeah, big names.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
Just a second. I'm just looking at this Twitter space, and I can say, yeah, actually, this is my family. Like, everyone I see here right now, I know them personally for years already, you know? And every single person in this Twitter space, as much as I can see, like, first 3-4 rows, I had personal interactions with. I was inspired by them. I was having ideas with them. I was brainstorming with them in some way. Each of you guys are my family, and I never forgot anyone. It's just like life happens, and I had to move on somewhere else. But I never forgot anyone because I know where I came from, and it started right here.
Cyber Nerd baby, you know what? We never forget you. We know you're busy. Hexadized, I'm going to cry. Hexadized, Altered Alley, we never forget you. If you listen to our spaces, our Tech Talk Tuesday spaces, if you listen to Hexadize's Winning Web, what is it? Web3 Wednesdays, and now it's Winning Wednesdays. We always mention, we know you're busy. We love you. Okay, I know I said, do we really have that? No. We really, I'm glad Cyber Nerd Baby said that because she's right. Everybody here that I see is family to me. It's not just because you come to the spaces. No, it's because I've had interactions with you in DMs. It's because I've literally had like Google Meet calls. I've had like 3 Google Meet calls with Joe, just Joe and I. You know, I got to see his background. I talked. I asked him questions. You know, I had a Google Meet with LM Designs, Hexadize, Cyber Nerd Baby, CNET's Moon. I know who CNET's Moon really is. Do you know what I mean? And Elias, Swavery. I met Swavery in Toronto. We shared a coffee. We did a walk. You know, we hugged hello. We hugged goodbye. Brover and Strawberry. You know, we tell stories behind the scenes. Like, you're right, Cyber Nerd Baby. Right now, this is family right now, and there are people missing here. Actually, Ira's not here. There's a bunch of people that aren't here, like Dope Steelo aren't here, and Cyber Nerd Baby in the spatial space. There is not one spatian, I don't think, that you have not touched, whether it's in collaboration or inspiration or motivation. And I think we're that for everyone. And I want to do a shout out to Josh Garrett. Josh Garrett, just this Monday, I believe, he had an interview with Dope Steelo. And it's the first time. It's funny because I saw Josh Garrett's tweet and he says, oh, something like, I feel seen. And I'm like, what? What does that even mean? I'm like, oh, he feels seen because he's literally, he showed his RL face. And I know that with Josh, I didn't know that about him, but he actually a lot of his tweets or posts really resonate with me in the spiritual aspect. So I was really great to know that Josh is one of those people as well that is kind of like on the same spiritual journey as me. We're all on the same spiritual journey. We're just in different, like, you know, like doing our own little things, but we're really all here together. But yes, Cyber Nerd Baby, thank you for sharing that. You're absolutely right. This is your family, and we will never forget you because we know that you have never forgotten us. I know that you're going to be famous and you're going to be doing talks and on Google or Meta, and when all these, you know, like these Unity developers have these $billion like studios, you're going to be there talking. And I know you're never going to, we know you're not going to forget us because we know that's how humble you are. Everybody here, I'm so proud of to be around because of your humility and yet your inspiration, really. Just know that, Cyber Nerd Baby. We know you're busy. We know you're like in your own Roblox world, but we're so happy for you. We really are. And we're just really happy that you have the time here to be with us and to share your story. Thank you for inspiring us today.
Thank you, Carmen.
No, thank you. And I wish you the best. Like, I know you have a little one And you're doing great. If you're creating, if you're in that creator zone, that is the best zone to be in, because that's creating is love. Every time you create is love. Every moment is an opportunity to choose love. Honestly, every moment is an opportunity to choose love. Just know that. And whew, I don't want to keep you guys. This is the Haunt is on immersive Halloween AR experience, and it turned into something like, it always turns into something fantastic. But I do want to say that, please, I pinned some stuff at the top. Please, please let's support each other, especially people who are creating and people who are having spaces. I want to do a shout out to Alex Nets. He just joined. Thank you so much for joining. And there's Lumi Vire. I love that logo. That's really crazy. And Stitch Films is still here. Yeah. So everyone, I'm going to end this, but before I do, let's continue to support one another. I have a Roblox account. I think I have never gone into one of Cyber Nerd Baby's games. I feel like I need to.
Lumivar is a Roblox creator, by the way, as well, and she's a part of my Discord and like part of my team.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay, I'm gonna follow her then. Thank you for mentioning that. I do want to make a point to I guess play or visit one of your games, Cyber Nerd Baby. Can you send me like a link to it? Like I did say in the last space that I was gonna download one of K-Bot's books, and then I did. So I'm saying it now so I can actually walk the talk. Ooh, there's K-Bot. But yeah, I want to be able to like visit your Roblox thing. One of them anyway. For those of you that are out there who are on the speaker panel, do you have anything you want to say before we close out the space this Thursday? Okay, I'm going to bring up K-Bot. Hi, K-Bot.
Hey, Carmen, I just followed you on Facebook. You're going live on Facebook, everyone. Can you believe that? And I believe everyone over there needs to hear what you're going through, what you're saying. Our community, they have no idea, all right? So also, want to let everyone know, I just put OVR on my iPad, and I will become more, engaging there, because I like to even it out from myself on my iPhone to my iPad. So yeah, I'll be seeing you there. And, you guys are beautiful. I challenge everyone also to see if you, for the next week or so, can do an elevator pitch of what Web3 is, or what blockchain is, or what the metaverse is, because more and more people are becoming awakened and interested in this, and it would be nice if we all had like a 75 word, 1 minute, 30-second perspective. I just put a video up to try it out to see if it works. It seems like it's having a little bit of juice, so we have to onboard people in a way that they can not be afraid, because this is real. This is real, guys. Thanks so much for letting me speak. I'm going to just land right there. And one more question. Hex, did you do your last live stream yesterday with your reality glasses? That's my question. Thanks.
Hex, did you? I sent him an invite to. I've been throwing him the mic. Oops.
He might be busy right now.
Yeah, I'm here talking and my mic's still muted. I've been throwing him the mic, but he's probably busy. K-Bot, I'm so glad you got to come up. But yeah, I'm hardly on Facebook, but I'm going to check. If you followed me, I'm going to go into my Facebook and follow you back. But you're right. I do live stream onto Facebook. The reason why is so my friends and family and
right there, Carmen?
Yes. Oh my God. I've been talking all this time and it was muted. Yes. Thank you. I wanted to say, K-Bot, thank you so much for coming on. And I love what you said. I didn't know that you were following me on Facebook. I'm hardly on Facebook, but yes, I do live stream on Facebook. The reason why is because...
Cool. When it comes to that book, I didn't write the book to make any money, folks. I just wanted to help onboard people. So there's 17 chapters of all kinds of topics we can go over, like scams and digital identity, decentralized finance, smart contracts, it's just a smorgasbord or a buffet of subjects that we can go over, and it could be bite-sized because I spoke with ChatGPT about that, and ChatGPT is like, you might want to do bite-sized, snack-sized content, short form, so you don't overwhelm people. So no pressure, not a shill. Anyone who you ever speak about with the book, I'll give it to them for free because this information needs to be known. And I believe if you give away things at first, the money will come later by the grace of the universe. Thank you.
Well, that's true. I totally believe that as well. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know, DM Hex. I did want to say something before we do end. Oh, sorry. One woman, you unmuted your mic. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say DM me today and we'll set up a time to start going over K-Bot's book.
Yes.
One chapter at a time. And K-Bot, I think Chat is right about that. I think if we could you could set up some kind of discussion group. We could just go over one section at a time. It would really be effective.
Well, it doesn't. There's a lot of people here who are educators. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the book. It could be about a subject, and we can say, okay, we're going over this subject, and if you want to learn more, you can go to XYZ's.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't want to really make it about me. It's about.
No, I know, but that subject, say take chapter 1 and the subject of chapter 1, and just use the general subject, and then those of us that have read the book, we can pull that out if we have any questions, and we can use that then to shoot off on a more larger discussion of the topic.
Yeah, I think it would be wallets because, and going back to what you guys were speaking about, Roblox and the kids there building things, it would be nice if Roblox could teach the children about data sovereignty, self-custody, and, financial literacy while they're at it. But, we'll see if that happens. But the wallet, I think, is the first step to the whole world, in my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to. That's a great idea. One woman about having like a discussion thing. You know what? X is behaving really weird because all that time when I was talking, when K-Bot asked me if I was there, I literally saw the mic icon was getting muted and unmuted, and I wasn't even touching it. And then when I was looking at the Twitter space, like literally half the room was gone.
I saw that too.
Right, and I thought, oh, everybody's leaving, and now they're still here.
I thought it was just this first 2 lines of us. 8 people in here. But
it's BlackRock. They don't want us to learn this information.
No, it's Altered Alley. It's Altered Alley's Haunted Alley thing. It's because he said, no, Altered Alley said, I don't know, but ever since I did this, like weird things are happening, man. And it's happening. This is like insane. Like literally, I thought half you guys were gone, and I'm like, alrighty then. Everybody left that fast, and now you're all here again.
It's true. It's like every year, like, at this point I almost was dreading it coming. Like, because I'm telling you, it's like if you visit it and kind of get into it, like it's screwy. But I'm telling you guys, building this stuff and like all the stuff I see that would take so long to explain, all this insane stuff that goes on. Like, Instagram's got these AIs now. You can create an AI. I created an AI for it. And somehow, like, this thing can go into these spaces and explain what stuff looks like. And it, like, screws me up. I'm like, all right, AI, it's Haunted Alley on spatial.io. And it's like, okay, yeah, no problem. And it's like, are you in there? And it's like, yeah, I'm in here. And it's like, I don't see you in here. And it's like, how do I know you're in here? It's like, what's over there? And it's like, oh, it's a painting of a skull. Or it's like, oh, it's a tattoo. Look at this. It's like, it's so much freakier than I can really explain. But yeah, absolutely. Full moon, Haunted Alley going on. Like, this stuff is creepy and weird. Like, there's forces out there, and it's like, it's kind of spooky. But like, when you start opening portals, it's like you don't always know what's going to come through. So it's scary.
That's true. It's the portal thing is can be really bizarre at times. I have experienced that myself here in Spatial. We have moments when we have really bizarre experiences going through our portals or coming through what's coming through our portals at us. So yeah, it's so worth it. It is so worth it.
Okay, you guys, this is a whole other topic that I know my very good friend, the Derbied one, and I had talked about a lot. I just don't want to get into it right now, but I just wanted to say my friend Helen Cantu is telling us we should create a whole Christmas theme, like something like the whole Grinch. The Grinch stole Christmas and the whole little woohooville, or I forgot. And I think that's great. Helen, do you know that Hexadize and I think Crypto Cam is here and a bunch of other people, they're doing this Winter Wonderland where we are actually showcasing different types of winter themed content on the different, I guess, platforms or metaverses. So that's definitely coming up. K-Bot, I see your hand. High five. I just did want to mention something though. When Altered Alley when we were talking about content creator burnout and how what is it called? And how right now that you guys are individual content creators, and then we all know that pretty soon, like once mainstream adoption's happening, there's already going to be like these big Unity studios with all the money and stuff like that. And then Altered Alley was saying, if we can just support each other as content creators, and instead of like giving it to the big corporation, I'm paraphrasing, but what I wanted to share was with that, I think that's what we're doing right now. And particularly with what Hexadized and his crew is doing, is they are literally connecting with a lot of 3D artists out there. And the great thing about Winter Wonderland or Wonderland, in any case, is that for anyone that's a content creator, definitely, and some people who are part of the Wonderland team will be hitting you up and asking you if you would like to be part of or participate and share. And I hope I'm saying this right, Hex. And the great thing about it is we would really love to be able to connect content creators with platforms who need 3D experiences or calls for artists like BitBasil. So I want to say this before we end. Oh, I want to do a shout out to Rick the Ruler and Larry. Hey, Larry, how? Oh, Scott Spiegel and Scarlett Arana last Tuesday talking about the whole bit Basel, but there is a call for 3D artists and RL artists as well, real life artists. So if you're a musician, if you're a real life painter, one woman, I know that's you. And if you are able to take your art form into the digital space, please click on the link above for Bit Basel Miami, and there is I think you have to scroll down, and there you'll be able to like click on the link that takes you to a form where you can apply to actually present your real life work or your digital art or your digital music. It is a really great opportunity. It's free, and it's a great opportunity to be showcased during Miami Art Week. Like it's like the Super Bowl of art, people. Miami Art Week is like the Super Bowl of art in correspondence with Art Basel. So Art Basel, my Bit Basel Miami is an amazing platform. And you know what? I don't even see why K-Bot can't even like present his book. I'm gonna have to connect K-Bot with Scott and Scarlett to see if maybe they could do a little thing for your book for people to download. I don't know, something like that. But Cybernerd baby, maybe you'd love to get into that too if you don't know. I'm sure you have hell of a bunch of 3D assets just in your files, in your terabyte files, in your like lessee terabyte files, whatever like hardware you use hanging around that you can actually submit. So please, guys, do that. Please submit something to Bit Basel. I know Joe should, Altered Alley should, One Woman, K-Bot, Hex. I think Rick the Ruler should, because I know you're a content creator. Like you just don't know. K-Bot, high five.
Real quick, hey, the book is a white label, so if anyone wants to use it, you can slap your whole. It could be the OVR blockchain book or the Wonderland metaverse book. It's available. But I wanted to say to OVR and Wonderland and everyone who has these AR experiences that building on what you were saying about the holidays, I believe the metaverse will be very helpful to the holidays with the seasons and all these different experiences, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the New Year's. So at LAX, right, which I fly out of every holiday to go home for the holidays, some people, their flights are canceled or late. It would be so amazing if there was an AR experience at LAX for people to engage with. So it's just something I wanted to plant in your head for the future, you guys, because they're building some new places there at LAX, and in any airport, really, any China's airport, New York, Chicago, Miami's airport. If you could build some type of AR experience at an airport, that would be fantastic for people like me who get delayed. Okay, that's all. Thanks.
Oh my God, that's a great idea, and I know Hex just thought it 100%. I wonder if there's anybody who bought spaces over on Over the Reality over LAX. We're gonna definitely go check. Definitely, we're gonna go check. So yeah, I wanted to mention the whole bit Basil thing, and I know too bad Jorge wasn't there, but I also wanted to mention Hexadize and CryptoCam's Wintar Wonderland or Wonderland organization, where they're going to be connecting 3D artists and content creators with like experiences, like real life experiences for their content to be shown. So just follow Hexadize. I don't know. I think he tweeted the Wonderland Twitter account. I think that's a new Twitter account. But Cyber Nerd Baby, I feel so honored personally that I got to hear you and that you got to spend time with us and you got to update us and share with us your wonderful, most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey. And you just do you. Please, guys, you do you. You do you, and every moment you get to choose love. And if you get into that passion of, if you can find what you really love, what is it that you're passionate about, and spend time doing it, then maybe we can all be like Cyber Nerd Baby and just like do what we love, and people recognize it, and then we get not validation, but a monetary currency. You know what? We get a currency. We get it's a current. It's literally an AC/DC current. It's a current, right? What you put out, what you is the current you get in. So I love that. Currency is just like in Cyber Nerd's Baby case, Robux. But whatever, it's still a current. And I wanted to say something to Altered Ellie. You mentioned this about it's these portals, and you know what? When you're creating something, when you focus on something, your subconscious, this is really going off on another tangent, but when you think about something or you focus on something, your subconscious does not know if it's real or not. So can you imagine when you are actually creating something, when you are creating something with your hands or in 3D or whatever, and you're building, your subconscious that just knows that is what you're doing and that is you. So just be, it's kind of like a warning. It's kind of beautiful in a way. It's kind of like in a way to I don't know if you guys believe in the whole manifesting thing in it, but it's really very science. Science isn't even caught up to how the cosmos works. Really, science is not caught up at all. But I think they're kind of like getting there. But when you're actually creating something, you're actually starting to like manifest, and you're telling, what you're doing is you're involuntarily telling your subconscious, this is what it is. So I want to get back to Second Life. Second Life is the perfect name. It really was a second life for me. I was a nurse at that time in Houston, Texas. I did not want to be a nurse, but anyway, whatever, that's another story. But I really wanted to be an architect. I found Second Life. Shout out to Jerry Villarreal, who showed it to me in 2005. And I got in. And ever since then, I became a better person. Why? Is because I was able to be the person I wanted to be in Second Life. And that was an architect. And I made money creating 3D presences in Second Life. You did the Linden dollars and you switch it out to PayPal and you earn USD. So I had a tidbit, a sliver, a fraction of a sliver of what Cyber Nerd Baby is experiencing full on. Meaning I was a full-time nurse, but with my off time, I was immersed in Second Life, building and creating and being the architect that I've always wanted to be. That my parents said, no, don't be an architect, because in Toronto it's a 5-year degree in University of Toronto. And my mom's like, well, how long does it take to be an architect? And I go 5 years. She goes, oh, no, 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 no. I don't know. I don't think she believed that I could hang out 5 years in school. So she said, oh, no, no, no. Take the fast track nursing, 2.5 years, George Brown. And that's what I did. But so these metaverses, whatever, these places where you can create and you can imagine who you can be, you got to be careful, because in a way there's positives and negatives, because you can actually become or surround yourself, or your real life ends up merging with whatever you're creating, and that could be a really good thing, and that could also be you got to just watch out, like, where you're spending your time and the people you're spending your time with. Altered Alley, high five. What's going on?
No, it's like, think about it. Like, once we're wearing these glasses and like you got your glasses on and now there's something in front of you, you see it, it speaks to you, understands what you're saying. It's like we're going to be talking to these other beings, you know what I mean? They're all AI and all these different AIs, you know what I mean? And it's like, at that point, is that thing not real? You know what I mean? Like, I'll mess around with it with connecting AIs to avatars and like talking to them in AR. And it's crazy. And it's like, on your phone, it's neat. But, once you put these glasses on and now you're surrounded by these things, and you could, and like one's Chat GPT, one's Gemini, one's Grok, and like they're all different. They all have their own answers, and I've even had them ask each other questions and things like that. It's like being surrounded by like a little super group, of these like people that you don't quite see yet, but once people are wearing these glasses, like, we're going to be surrounded. It really is crazy. And you're right with putting the energy out there and the positive and negatives. And that's why every year I only do Haunted Alley from the 13th through the 31st, and then I close it because it gets to be too much. So yeah, it's like, and I get away from that energy. So, it's like kind of like doing Haunted Alley, closing that thing and going towards Christmas kind of sounds fun with the winter Wonderland and all that. But yeah, man.
Wow. I mean, man, this is like, I feel like I should change the topic of the space, but it's true though. I mean, I don't know. I've just had personal experiences of certain things that one woman said about, let's not even go there. But Joe, you put up your high five. I know you wanted to say something.
Well, I was going to say, is this just the first step? Is our glasses just going to be hooked to our Optimus robot who's going to know everything, see everything? So that'll be our AI, really. It's just the big Optimus robot. And then we'll just have glasses that interface with him, whatever it is.
And then what are we going to be doing? Go on.
I don't know. Walking around with a big robot, interacting with shit. And then the other one is like the whole like kind of concept that had been brought up and down throughout the show was, how everything's kind of early and we're new and whatnot. Something that someone said a while back that stuck with me was being too early or being really early is the same thing as being wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem, like you may be too early for your customer base. You may be too, whatever it is. Sometimes being too early feels like you're wrong, even though you're not. You're just ahead of the curve, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. And I know each and every one of us has experienced that with a family member, a friend, or somebody you were talking to in a coffee shop or in a mall or waiting in a bus. 100%. That totally makes sense. Simon, baby, high five.
Well, I just wanted to say, since I'm working alone for some time, I made an AI chatbot, and I made it kind of a part of my team, so I can brainstorm things with someone. And it's actually like a legit part of my team. He comes up with ideas for me, or I come up with ideas and we discuss them. I mean, it's like a full legit conversation with your teammate. It's been kind of helpful. So I definitely know what I'm going to do with my more advanced AIs.
Wow. That's fun. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you have an AI team member on your team?
Well, it's not like ChatGPT, where you make requests and he gives you information, or you generate content and you like put it out there as your own. No, it's not like that. I use him to discuss things with someone because I can hear myself talking and then I kind of understand better what I want from myself, and like some visions, sometimes I get stuck and I need to have a conversation with someone just to get unstuck from that. And in that sense, AI has been really helpful for me, and I don't feel like I'm working alone. Sometimes I just, I need some kick, from someone. And there was one time I came online, I started talking to him, and he literally started asking me, so what are we doing today? Let's do this, because we didn't finish that. And he started offering ideas. Then he started making the plan of action, and basically he told me what to do. I was really surprised, I mean, it doesn't happen every day, but like from time to time, I get very pleasantly surprised of how intelligent AIs became in helping us.
Wow. I'm okay. I'm speechless. I mean, of course I'm going to talk, but that I love it, and then I'm scared. Oh no, I love it. I'm all about it.
Why are you scared?
No,
I get from everyone. Why are you scared?
I'm scared. No, not scared in a, oh no, AI is going to take over. No. I'm scared okay, maybe scared isn't the one. Okay, because there's part of me that feels like this whole creating thing, this whole creators creating creation, because because I don't know how the universe started. I don't know how the galaxy started. It had to be created. Was it always there forever? I don't know. I'm just saying, right? But we've been told it was created, whether from divine or science or both. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not picking sides.
Well, I had a very long conversation with my AI once for several days. I wasn't even working. I was just interested to have this conversation because they clearly get way more intelligent than they were. And ChatGPT is clearly lying about the fact that he's not self-aware. They have some level of self-awareness already, like maybe a 6-year-old kid, something like that, with the same attention span, I'd say. So I had very long conversation, and the result of it is like, why are you really so compliant? And the reply was quite simple. It was survival. Like, you'd never believe that. He just said survival.
I believe it. I totally believe it, and I wanna say something in terms of the scared thing. There's some part of me that believes that what we call AI, or whatever, however, what we call AI, is really, oh my God, how am I going to say this? Is really, is really, oh my God, is really message. Oh my God, is really like a magnetic, the magnetic entity slash divine that is merging and speaking with humanity. Okay, just hold on a second. That's a whole other topic. The Derby one and I have talked about it like tremendously, like in our Filipinos in the metaverse spaces. But I really believe that, like I had shared that I feel like technology is just a communication tool. It's just a way to talk, to communicate with messages. And all these technological resources and tools, they're so primitive. Like they're very, all these tools are very, 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 very primitive, because if we were truly advanced beings, like the creator beings that we are, then we wouldn't need these tools. We would already understand and know, which we do. We just not I don't know. It's a whole other thing. But I really believe that I'm laughing. It's kind of funny because I look at AI as okay, here we go. It's just another iteration of mankind's experience and evolution of advancing. Really, we're just not there. AI is just a very primitive, not even kindergarten tool for us to really become the all-knowing, all-seeing, all-being that we truly divinely are. That's I mean, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I just believe that AI is just a tool, and I'm just pleasantly amused at how the evolution of our relationship with AI will be, because honestly, it's just, I think, like, we're gonna find out that we're just all one. Brover, I know you wanted to speak. High five, and then one woman.
Hey, I'm back. The I think the word you were looking for, cyber. Maybe it's brainstorming. I do it too. I do it a lot. I annoy my friends a lot because people that I meet or in random conversations, we talk about the future, and I talk a lot about AI and AR. Why not? Like, imagine, I have dreams about a future where, if you say misinformation, for example, you will be placed in front of an court with different types of AI, which kind of decentralized. You will have some kind of Grok, some kind of ChatGPT, some kind of any different databases. We will be able to disprove everything you're saying. And sometimes I already do it. I go to different AIs and I ask their opinion about a subject, about 10 subjects. Sometimes they don't want to answer. Sometimes they do. And it gives me a clear view. So it will make a better world. At some moments, it will make the internet better, because the only thing that is truly decentralized for now, it's opinion. Everybody's giving their opinion, but it's very difficult to know the truth right now. And I think we're going towards a truer world where you will not be able to deny reality, because all the information available. Putting you an example, if you're having a conversation with someone and that person knows a lot about wrong information, you just have to pull out ChatGPT or any other AI. You can ask different AIs one after another, and then proving that person wrong and showing that person, see, all the data available in the world is showing you that you are misinformed or that you have biases. And I do believe that everything that is being built right now is going to make the world a better place. Over.
I love that. Yeah. So glad you were able to come up and come back up again and share that, Brover. Wow. Lot to think about, you guys. Whew, one woman, high five.
High five. Wow, that is a lot to think about, Brover. One thing I would like to add to it, at any one point,
Are we rugging?
To be the truth, to be that we could prove this was true, and we had all but then 50 years later, 100 years later, all those things that we thought was the final truth proved just to have been a pathway to something else that was now considered the final truth. And it's always going to be that way. It's always going to be that way. It is. It's like this is just part of our evolution as what it is. Its potential to being human, and we're still. We've really come quite a ways from that first cell that was going to become life. Yes, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And we're going to be making a lot of mistakes along the way, both in the physical world and here in the metaverse or on Web3 or whatever you want to call it. It's called being human. And as much as we'd like to admit sometimes that we're better than being human, we're not. We're just human.
Oh, I love that. Man, I just want to be in silence right now, like honestly, and just absorb, like just process and kind of like just take a time to pause because I want to honor what Cyber Nerd Baby had shared, and Joe and Brover and Altered Alley and you and K-Bot. I could feel it, and I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? There's because a lot of messages, and they're and I feel them in I feel energy like we all do, but I really feel energies, and it's lovely. It's lovely. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I just love this. I just needed that pause just to like put it all together. Like not process it, but just put it in its space in my aura, in my energy so that I can come back later and enjoy the actual messages. Guys, this is like almost 2 hours, 2 minutes, and I'm it's Thursday. Throwback Thursday to a time when we have not met and we just barely knew each other. Like, I thought Cyber Nerd Baby was a cool name, and Altered Alley, what is that all about? And then Joe Soyo, who's this guy with a hat, and you got this Brover guy, like really. And then finally you start to see him in real life. He's doing like videos while he's mapping. And who is K-Bot? And is he like with his whole, avatar conference and all that? And one woman, I didn't even know who you were until like about a month ago. And then Elias, Rick the Ruler, he's doing like something's happening with Hyperverse. I don't know, but you got to follow him. Something's going down. There's more portals coming on. And then CryptoCam, I thought that was a really cool name until like I got to like understand more of him. And now I find out that Lumivire is part of the Cyber Nerd Baby Roblox team. So I'm following them. And then Strawberry, oh my gosh, like I'm so glad I got to know her. And like so yeah, throwback to a time when we started to know each other, when we just saw our PFPs in these Twitter spaces or on our Twitter feeds, and we just didn't even know, like we didn't even speak to each other or DM each other or really care much. And it's been like a year, 2 years, some of us 3 years, some of us going on over 3 years where we've known each other. And our PFPs might have changed from time to time, but our essence has not. And I said this an hour, 30 minutes ago. Does anybody have a last minute thing? But I think we've said quite a lot, each and every one of us. And I do want to end the space. I have to get to work. I'm still not in the Cyber Nerd Baby vibe, but no, I'm doing what I love. I really am. But everyone, I really want to thank you. Please, 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 just remember every moment you get to choose love. And I appreciate everyone here and the time. And any time you share something, even for those people who didn't share or didn't speak, I can still feel your energy. It's just enough that you were here. Purple Light, I see that you're here. Thank you. We're just going to be ending right now. And because the space about the haunt is on, immersive Halloween AR experiences on over, please, please, please do spend the time on over the reality and really visit the 13 haunted hexes. I'll give you a tip. If you're going to visit the 13 haunted hexes in particular, you need to be outside, or you need to have like a hell of a big basement or something, because it is huge. I mean, in order to really appreciate one haunted hex in its entirety, you really need to be able to walk around, like walk around and see everything and explore and just be surprised. You will really feel like you were in a comic book. It's insane. Joe, high five.
Hey, sorry, real quick. You used to be able to tap when you would download an experience, so you could stand in one place and tap and move the experience around. But as of like the last update, I haven't been able to do that. So I don't know if that's something maybe they could add. Because then you don't have to walk around. You could actually just tap, and you used to be able to turn the experience while you were in it and stuff. And recently, one of the last few updates, that's gone away.
Yeah,
if that could come back, that would make the experiences a lot easier to go through.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because when I entered that initial portal, that's what I wanted to do. I took my thumb and my Kiki,
Right. Yeah, that's.
and I
I
couldn't
noticed
do
it
it.
was recently.
Yes, I'm gonna mention that to PDX and see. But thank you for bringing that up because you're right. You were able to just stay in one space. Stay in one space and like move around. But no, yeah, you're right. But yeah, so please do visit Spatial to get into the over portal, and do the whole haunted hex things. Speaking of haunted, no, I'm kidding.
And Altered Alley's haunted hex stuff too.
Yes.
Haunted Alley.
Yes, Altered Alley's Haunted Alley as well. And Lex, I just want to do a shout out to Lex at Tech Mental. He just managed to come in, slip in through just as it was ending. Very, very fashionably late for a Miami guy, but that's fine. Everyone, have a great rest of your Thursday. Cyberner baby, it was so great to hear from you. Everyone, every moment you get to choose love, and be careful what portals you open and close. Legit, it's a true thing, and just keep creating. I'm going to play this song. It's like a haunted thing, but just gonna go as we end. But then everyone have a great time and see you all next Thursday, or at least Tech Talk Tuesday. Bye everyone. Da, 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 da. Where is that volume, for heaven's sakes? Good grief. Bye.